Good afternoon, guys, and welcome. This is Enrico from Conductive Music, bringing to you yet another experiment from Art in Quarantine. Today we start with the Microbit, okay? This is the little machine. If you have it, great, you can follow step by step. If you don't, do not worry, because on the website we're gonna use, there is an emulator so you can do all of the experiments and you can follow along and learn all those stuff. Then, next time you're back in school, unless you are already, especially if you're at year 7, you can ask your school, especially the design technology or the computer department or maybe the science department, should have a box of this lying around, because about 4 years ago the BBC has given it to every single school in England, so do not worry, you will be able to continue. So let's get started right away on the website, makecode.com. As soon as you get to the page, you will see that there's a few different codes that you can follow. There's the Microbit that we're discussing today. This is for the wearable projects. There's a Minecraft modding tool that we can explore later on. If you've got the Lego Mindstorm, you can use this one. And here's my favorite, the Arcade, which can allow you to create some video game from scratch. So we're also going to work on this. So let's start by clicking on the Microbit. And here's our workspace. We've got an emulator on the left-hand side. By the way, click New Project, of course. The emulator is on the left-hand side here. It's just loading. There's going to be a menu with all of the codes that we've got available here. Okay, we'll start with a few and then we'll go into the advanced, and don't worry because there's going to be quite a lot of attachments that we can connect to, both physically and digitally. And of course, this is our workspace. So let's start from the very beginning. Start and forever. Here's the key difference. Start happens only once at the booting of the device. Forever keeps going forever. The first thing that we usually do once we have a new coding language is to say hello. So let's try and see. I go to basic, grab a string. That's how we call a sentence or a few letters as opposed to integers in coding. Dump it here and it's going to show up right away. Just a matter of seconds. Here we got the yellow, and you can go full screen by clicking on that button. Okay, you see it's gone through only once, but if I move this to forever, then it goes forever. Let's try and change the text. That's quite easy. So my name is Enrico, so I'm gonna say ciao Enrico, and let's see what happens. So this should start and keep going pretty much forever. You got a variety of things you can put here. Okay, so for example, I can extract it from the code. You see it's gone gray, so it's no longer active. And I can play around with a few different blocks showing the numbers. I can make a little drawing here. So for example, if I create any of these things, by the way, to delete, you see, drag it back in the column, or click on something and press the backspace key and it deletes. So let's see, I'm just gonna do a little target here and it will show up. Okay, and if you want to do a stop motion animation, yeah, well, we can do it as well. Look, we can just create a few frames one at a time, and perhaps like so. So it alternates and it goes back and forth. There are some pre-made icons here, and there are some you can also put a rest here. Okay, and you can also loop a few different things. What's a loop? It's when we repeat stuff. So, for example, if I wanted to do a certain sequence a number of times before we move to something else, I'll just go and grab a loop and I'll do it here. Let me just create something for you real quick so you can have a look. After this, I'm going to show you how to update the firmware on the Microbit and download this so you can actually see it on the device, because that's what makes it also much more fun. So let me just create something real quick. Okay, thank you for your patience. So what I try to do is starting from a single dot and creating a square, okay, by adding one dot every frame. And then when it gets to a square of 9 dots here, I put a loop. So it repeats for 4 times. It's like a blinking sort of situation. And after that, kind of a rudimental explosion where each pixel flies away little by little. And then it should restart, okay? So it's empty and then it restarts. Let's see how it looks in full screen. Okay, So let's see how we can download this to the Microbit. Now, of course, you would go probably and hit download right away. This creates a file, and all you have to do is then copy and paste this file onto your Microbit. However, there is a faster way. We need to make sure that, number one, the Microbit has got the new firmware. We only have to do this once, but we have to do it. And number two, we can create the pairing, and then we can copy it. So let's start by connecting it. This is the first step. Plug it in. Plug it in onto your USB. And it will give you a red light at the back. Sorry, a yellow light at the back. Okay? So let's start. First of all, let's open a new tab. It's this plus at the top. And you go for Microbit. Firmware update or update firmware. There we go. I already searched for it, and we go into the Microbit website. There's some instructions here. You can go directly to the download. It's a small file. It will not harm your computer. Do not worry. It's a hex file, which is the type of code. Now, to load your Microbit in maintenance mode, let's try. Here's the Microbit. There is a reset button, which is the back button at the back. Okay, I'm gonna press it. Plug it in, and then release it. My Microbit will now show up in maintenance mode. You see on the top right of my desktop right here. Now, if I go to my download files, okay, I will find this file with a very, very long and complicated name. All I have to do is drag and drop it. It will copy it, eject the Microbit, and complain about it, but then it'll be back with a new firmware. It will show up once again as a Microbit. Now it's ready. Let's go back to our website so we can pair it. Pairing means to basically tell the computer, look, there is a Microbit connected to you. Can you now connect? So up here on the right hand side, okay, go to, let me move my face from here. There we go. We go on options, pair device, and I'm again in the middle, I'm sorry. In this case, we can pair the device. Up here, it might show with a slightly different name depending on the Microbit that you got. Do not worry, it's fine. Just keep in mind, you might have to do this a number of times. Click on connect. Will take a few seconds. Download. Now this, the light will start flickering. As soon as it's done flickering, it will start your animation. I hope you enjoyed and succeeded. Please post your results in the comments below. We look forward to seeing your work. Huge thanks to you for your attention, but also to Arts Council England for funding us and make these things possible and reach you in these times of, in these challenging times. And also to the Waltham Forest Music Hub, who is also funding us and funding in particular this video to get to you. Thank you so much, and see you next time.